What is good, everyone? This is Anthony from Avant Samples, and I'm very proud to be announcing our newest dubstep artist pack, this time coming from the rhythm and dubstep legend Neonix. After the amazing support we've received from thousands of artists like yourselves on our previous artist sample packs, we knew we had to find the perfect fit for this next one, and we knew Neonix was our guy. Neonix is a seasoned dubstep veteran with releases on labels like Never Say Die Black Label, Cyclops Recordings, Circus Records, Bass Rush, Savage Society, and many, many more. He's formulated this pack to give bass music producers all the tools that they'll need to produce the best modern dubstep and rhythm, whether you're an experienced producer or a newer producer just starting your production journey. I'm insanely excited to show you guys what this pack has to offer, so without further ado, let's hop right into the pack and get started. So I'm going to be running through the pack today in FL Studio, but you can use a wide variety of different DAWs for this pack. It's compatible with stuff like Ableton, Logic, Pro Tools, GarageBand. I mean, pretty much anything that accepts WAV files. And then as long as you have Serum, you'll be able to use all the Serum presets. The project files for the pack today is FL Studio, as Neonix produces in FL Studio, but everything else outside of that will be compatible with any DAW, no matter what DAW you're using. So first up, we have 10 atmospheres. These are going to be great to add the atmosphere to your tracks, which are really important to that dubstep and rhythm sound. It needs that ear candy and that depth. We'll go through these soon. They're really, really sick. Next up, we have bass loops. We have 20 bass loops, which are designed and produced by Neonix and his style. There's some really, really cool bass loops here. These are great if you're a newer producer looking to learn how to produce dubstep and how to kind of produce your drops and synths and leads, how to format them and kind of how to build your flows. Or if you're a more experienced producer, you can take these and kind of chop stuff out of it and kind of incorporate them and add your own unique sound to them. And then next up, we have the one-shots. So kind of similar to the bass loops, these are kind of that raw drop synth sound design that you look for that heavy dubstep sound and that rhythm sound. We have 40 one-shots here. So these are going to be just single shots that you can take and start playing around with, kind of building your own flows with more instead of having to chop up the bass loops. Really, really great to have those. Next up, we got a bunch of drum loops from Neonix. These are really, really great to just quickly kind of throw into your tracks and speed up that drum production and arrangement process. So really great stuff in there. Next up, we got our drum one-shots. So these are going to be your individual drum one-shots taken out of loop context. As you can see, we have a bunch of claps, a bunch of hats, tons of kicks, really sick rides, and some amazing, super beefy snares designed by Neonix. So next up on the list, we got a bunch of effects. There's going to be some kind of cool, like glitchy effects, some fill sounds, ear candy, as well as some risers. Next up, which is a really important kind of part of this modern dubstep sound and that Neonix style, is glitches. So these are going to be really, really great to kind of take and process and turn into new sounds. I mean, you could pretty much take these glitches alone, process them in the correct way, and pretty much have all your sound design that you'd need for modern dubstep, which is really, really cool. And next up, we got melody loops. So these are a bunch of melodies written by Neonix in kind of that rhythm dubstep style. But what's really, really cool here is we have the rendered loops, but we also have the individual MIDI from all of those loops. So if you want, you can just take one of these loops, throw it into your track, and write over it quickly. Or alternatively, you can grab the MIDI, which coincides with all the names, and you can actually have the raw MIDI to put your own sounds in that same melody. So really, really great to have those. Next up, we have the Serum Presets, which is a huge part of this pack and a big part of the thing that we think you guys are going to be really excited about, that Neonix sound design. We have a ton of bass presets, which are kind of going to be your like dubstep lead sound design, those heavy dubstep and rhythm synths. And then we have a couple cool little leads to check out and play around with, as well as some really, really fat and nice Reeses. So a big part of this pack that we're really excited about is having access to 4 Neonix Fruity Loops project files, including one of his Never Say Die releases, which is huge for you guys to be able to kind of dive into his brain, dive into his techniques, understand how he produces, and kind of learn more about how he does things. You also get access to the demos that he produced for these songs as well to kind of dig in and see how he produces. It's really, really interesting to have these, and a fantastic tool for new or experienced producers to have to kind of see how a professional comes in and designs their tracks. So that's about it for this one. Plus, we got the raw demos for you guys to listen to, of course, here. Let's go ahead and start hopping into the actual sounds and give you guys some previews of what they sound like and stuff like that. So next up, we got the bass loops. Something to bear in mind, FL Studio only plays like a short clip of the demo, so obviously a lot of these are a lot longer than what I'm playing here. So you could very quickly drag pretty much any of those over a SIG drum loop and have a really, really cool start to a song, which is really, really great to have if you're a newer producer looking to learn, or just sparking inspiration if you're a more experienced producer and being able to kind of chop them up and use different parts. So next up is going to the bass one-shots. Tons of one-shots here, kind of similar to the bass loops, but in this format, you just have them in that one shot, and you have a lot more kind of flexibility with actually using them to implement them into your guys' track. So let's take a listen to some of these. So some really cool stuff to play around with there. Tons of different options with processing and really making these sounds unique, and it's going to be super fun to use those. So next I want to open up Serum and hop into the Serum presets. So as you guys can see, tons of different presets here. Let's start going through them. Some of these are just absolutely nuts. And so just to remember, guys, it would take me way too long to literally go through every preset, so there's tons more than this, but I just want to give you guys a quick run through of what some of them sound like. So next up, we got these Reeses. Super fat Reeses, so super sick to have those. That about wraps up all the Serum presets. Like I said, tons more than what I just showed you guys here, but this gives you a really, good idea of what's in it and what it's going to sound like and what it has to offer. So let's keep going through the pack. So next up, we got our drum loops. You can see we have 4 clap loops, 5 drum loops, 7 hat loops, 5 kick loops, a quick little ride loop, and a few top loops as well. So really great to have those. Let's listen to a few here. Nice to have those to just speed up that production process and kind of get your flows going a little bit, so you don't have to, kind of sit there and build every one of them out. Or if you're a new producer looking to learn, great to have those to kind of quickly throw into your tracks as well. So next is going to the drum one shot. So these are all the individual drums laid out. 21 claps. Let's start here. Really sick claps fitting that dubstep and rhythm vibe. Let's check out the hats. Next up, those kicks. Next, some kind of rides in China. And to finish it off, those really nice, beefy, powerful rhythm and dubstep snares from Neonix here. Tons of different vibes to kind of fit a lot of different styles and tons of different options and stuff to play around with. So really great to have those. Next up, let's check out the effects here. And next up, some of those risers. So you can have those. Next, these glitches, which are really, really cool. Don't have a ton of time to show a ton of them to you guys, but there's so many options and so many things to play around with in here. And so next up, those melody loops that I was talking about. Really great to have these. We have them broken up into a few different layers. So this is kind of like the stuff we would see fitting well in an intro, and then some stuff fitting well in for leads, for actual sound design in your drops, but can also be used for the intro and stuff as well. Like this is kind of that really, really cool kind of future rhythm sound that a lot of people are working with right now that could be used very easily in an intro, but also used very easily in a drop if used in the correct context too. And then, like I said, you have all the MIDIs to these as well. So if you don't like these sounds, you're good. You have the MIDI, you can do your own sound design. So it's really, really great to have both options. And then here's all those MIDIs for those same ones that we were talking about. So, and then finally, the project files, 4 project files, the 3 demos that were made for the sample pack, as well as his Never Say Die release like we talked about from the beginning. Really, really great to have these. We'll probably work on some separate videos and some stuff from having Neonix kind of come in here and break down his production style, and maybe we'll dive into these project files, but they're great project files to have, and it's a really, really great learning experience to understand how Neonix produces, and then also when you have all of his samples and presets, it's great to understand how he would use them in correct context and kind of learning from different production styles. But yeah, guys, that about wraps it up. An amazing pack coming in at just over 350 files. Everything that you need, like I said, all the tools and different tools that you need to produce, you know, an entire rhythm or dubstep song. And that's what we try to provide. We want to provide a sample pack that if a producer literally only had our pack, he or she could produce an entire album. You know what I mean? And that's what we go for. So I hope you guys enjoy. I'm really looking forward to hearing what you guys come up with this. I can't wait to hear your guys' feedback, and I'm very, very excited to have Neonix on the site. So go grab this one. It's out now. We'll link probably a discount code below. So grab that discount code if you want to, but enjoy, dive into this one. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.